Hello, this is British Harry, and how are you today? I hope you're all well. I'm so excited today because we're going to learn some English by cooking, and I'm going to make a nice chickpea curry. So let's get started. There was a little squirrel that I think wanted to learn how to cook. So the first step is to gather your ingredients. Here I'm going to be using 1 onion, 2 potatoes. I have some minced garlic and some minced ginger. I have the canned chickpeas, some curry leaves at the back, and also some mixed chilies. So these mixed chilies are medium heat, and I'll probably only use 1. And here we have, what is this called? Good, this is a chopping board. The first step would be to peel the onion. So I have 1 nice peeled onion. Now I'm going to cut the onion very carefully in half. Then I'm going to slice the onion. Now I'm going to dice the onion. Next comes the tomato. So I've washed the tomato thoroughly. Now I'm going to cut off the top part, and the same thing as the onion, I'm going to cut the tomato in half, and then I am going to cut the tomato into small pieces, carefully trying not to cut your fingers. Next comes the mixed chilies. This says medium heat, a hand-picked mix of fruity flavors adds a gentle warmth to dishes. I'm going to take 1, I'm going to wash it. Then I'm going to cut the top off, and I'm going to slice this long ways, and I think that will be fine. So I've cut the main ingredients. We have the diced or chopped onions and the chopped tomatoes. So I'm going to turn on the stove. Now I'm going to add some oil to the pot. It's a personal preference as to how much oil you want to add. I've added about this much oil, you can see. So I'm going to let the pot heat up, so the oil coats the bottom surface of the pot, and then I will add the onions. So I have switched over from the back plate to the front plate, so you can see a bit closer as to what's happening. So I'm going to add the chopped up onions. because of the type of the pot this is, I'm using a silicone spatula. So I'm just going to give the onions a stir, and I'm going to cook the onions for a few minutes until they start to turn a bit brown. So I've been cooking the onions for a few minutes. You can hear a nice sizzle. Next, I'm going to add some salt, some table salt. Now, because I've made this curry many times, I would eyeball. To eyeball means to roughly guess how much salt you will put. Here I have a tablespoon, so probably about a quarter would be enough. So I'm just going to add the salt. I'm going to sprinkle the salt. And then I'm going to give it a nice stir. Next, I'm going to add some turmeric. Again, with the turmeric, I will add a rough amount, probably about half a teaspoon, which is a smaller spoon. I don't like to add too much turmeric because it can give the food a chalky taste. Now with turmeric, it's nice to add some black pepper. So I'm going to grind and twist this pepper. Give it a shake at the end. Again, I'll give it a nice stir. So I'm coating the onions with the turmeric, the salt, and the black pepper. Next, I'm going to add some Kashmiri chili powder. So I will add the same amount as the turmeric. And give it a nice stir. Next, I'm going to add some minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic if you prefer, but this is the lazy option, the quick option. So I like to add a nice spoonful of minced garlic. I'll add another half a tablespoon there. Next comes the minced ginger. The ginger is quite strong, so I would add about half a tablespoon there. Ginger to get rid of the ginger smell especially. So I'll leave that to cook for another few minutes. Next up, I'm going to add the chili. And I have washed some curry leaves here. So I'm going to add a few curry leaves. I love the smell of curry leaves. So I'll add a few here. And then give this a nice stir. Then I'm going to add the chopped tomatoes. Give this a nice stir. I'm going to cook the tomatoes down and wait until the tomatoes have become soft, so that will take a few minutes. While everything is cooking here, I'm going to strain the chickpeas. So these chickpeas are quite convenient because the can has a little thing here to pull. So you don't actually have to use a tin opener. So I'm going to open this. And then I'm going to use a strainer here. It's one, and the same thing with the second can or tin. Make sure I've got everything there, good. Then, so these are the strained chickpeas. Then I'm going to rinse the chickpeas. So I forgot to mention, I'm cooking everything on a medium heat. This is at number 5, and the tomatoes are starting to become nice and soft. I have strained the chickpeas, so I'm going to put the chickpeas in. And then coat the chickpeas. So I'll give the chickpeas a nice stir, and I'm coating the chickpeas with all the nice spices and the onions, and it smells delicious. I like to cover the pot and then let the chickpeas soak up the spices for another few minutes, and then I'll add some water in a bit. So the chickpeas have been cooking away for a few minutes. Now I'm going to add some water. Just enough water to cover the chickpeas. And again, give the chickpeas another stir. Now I will cover the chickpeas and leave that to cook on medium heat for about 20 minutes. So the curry's been cooking for some time. I can smell those delicious smells. This is what it would look like. Here is the finished curry. It smells delicious and it tastes amazing. I love cooking this curry because firstly, it's delicious. Secondly, I know it's healthy because I have the nice spices, the nice turmeric, got the ginger, the garlic, and chickpeas themselves are very good for your body. They're very healthy. You can eat the chickpea curry with rice, or you could try some rotis, or another word for this is chapatis. So with these, you can make these from scratch, but you can buy them pre-made. You can just put them on a frying pan and just cook them for a few minutes, or you can put them in the microwave. I prefer to put them onto a frying pan and then cook them for a few minutes on each side. So I hope you enjoyed cooking with me today. I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you have made this curry before. There are a few different variations. You can add coriander, for example. You could add some cumin. You could add some coconut milk if you wanted to make the texture a bit more creamy. I prefer to have it with tomatoes. Let me know in the comments below, what dishes do you like to make? What do you like to cook for dinner, for example? Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe, like, and I will see you in the next lesson. Thank you, and bye-bye.